Hi everyone. Just recently I acquired my nephew's art supplies that, he's a big boy now, he doesn't need any of them, and in those art supplies came these tempera paints. They're by Rich Art Fresco tempera paints. Now I've worked with these before. I've done some children's classes and they're excellent paints, mostly for paper, like posters. My kids would, we would paint on top of mat boards, which was perfect because the mat board would absorb it. The only problem with these paints are they're very watery and they can be reactivated with water. But I thought, let me try this out. I have them, gonna pour with them. So what I use for my pouring medium is a combination of 1 coat polyurethane Minwax and Floetrol, half and half. I'll put them in a little squirt bottle. This is my hair color squirt bottle. There is in there, and in water. So what I did was I mixed 3 colors ahead of time, and I was going to do one on camera, so you'll see there is a little bit of a difference with these. I don't know why. The yellow is the last one I haven't done. First thing, I'm going to shake them really well. And I filled a lot of it up. I don't care about using too much of this because really I don't want to use it on much anything else. But instead of adding the pouring medium right away, I added the water first, because for some reason adding the pouring medium first made it very difficult to stir. So since this is mostly water, it stirs with plain water very easily. And I'm going to stir it until I get it very liquidy before putting my pouring medium. Now right here you can see that it's running pretty good. Now I'm going to put a lot of pouring medium in here because this paint needs binder. And Floetrol is a binder, and so is the polyurethane. And now I mixed it in here. And look how much thicker that is. Plop, plop. So yeah. One of the other colors, I had to add so much water to it that I had to switch cups to a bigger cup. So might have to do the same thing here. This is distilled water. And if you don't know, you should, whenever you use water with your paints, make sure you use distilled water. It doesn't have any additives, it's pure H2O, and you have less chances of your paint going bad if you have leftovers. Let me see, I think this might be getting too thick too. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a dirty pour, and a flip cup dirty pour. I think I'm doing the right. There's so many different names. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill 1 large cup up with all the colors combined, and then turn it upside down on top of the canvas and let the paint run. So I assume that's a flip cup dirty pour. Alright, this one came out pretty good. Okay, let's see. I need a big cup. Where's my big cup? Oh, right here. I'm gonna have a lot of paint this time. Oh, and I'm using, I have my own mix of white house paint. And this is just plain white house paint from Walmart. The Walmart brand, the cheapest one. And I mix it with my Floetrol and the polyurethane and water to make it very liquidy. And I'm gonna pour some of this in here. White. And like usual, I start with the lightest colors. I'm going to do yellow. then I have blue, yellow and blue makes green. And red and blue makes purple. And green probably makes poo, but let's just hope we don't end up with poo. And some more white. And this time I'm gonna squirt some silicone. I used the Blaster silicone lubricant spray. Yeah. Now back to yellow. And then we did blue. And red. And green. Let's see, I can't see the inside of the cup. And some white. And some silicone spray. It's looking gnarly in there. I don't know. Let's try some more yellow. And red. And blue. Oh, technical difficulties. Okay. And blue. And a little bit of green. I got a lot of paint in this cup, way more than I need for this. And it's looking a little muddy. Well, let's see what we got. I'm gonna turn this upside down. And this is a reused canvas. Since this is experimenting, I don't know how it's gonna be. Sure, I got it all in the picture. All right. Now, are we gonna be a pretty pour, or are we gonna be a ugly pour? Mama wants to see a pretty pour. And I'm gonna squish it around a little bit, and whoops. Interesting. Something in there didn't mix well. It looks like coagulated milk. Kind of like this, like cream gone bad. This is pretty. This is very muddy looking. So what I'm going to do, wipe my hands off. I'm going to make a really quick with the rest what I have. And that is some white. And the rest of my red. So yellow and green. Just the rest of this. All right, I'll pour this over here because I just don't like this. Let's see, let's try, do a little swirly puddle. And then over here. The paint has kind of a chalky consistency, and it's probably because tempera paints are kind of chalky. I really like this area here with all the blue. The blue is the prettiest. So I'm gonna just add the rest of this blue in here. And the rest of this red. And it's all primary colors except for the green. The green's a secondary color. Which I was going to end up with some green anyway, whether I put green or not, just because we have blue and yellow in there. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here is swipe this way. Someone in the group just recently asked, what's a cheaper way to do this? Well, the cheapest way I've been doing it is with the Walmart paints, the apple barrels. But this stuff is pretty cheap too. I like it. It's very thick. I have a lot of paint on here. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Cool beans. Last time I taped, I videotaped one of these, the lens on the camera on my phone was foggy. Had something on it, probably paint. And the whole video came out kind of like had rubbed Vaseline on the screen, and I'm sorry about that. And I could tell you couldn't really see the colors all that well, but here I hope it, and I forgot to go make sure that the screen was clean. And we're torching. Not much is happening with the torch. Might be because I played around with it for too long. But the cells that are there seem to be getting bigger. They are moving. I like this. It came out of some strange colors. I think maybe with less colors, just red, yellow, and blue, and leave the green out. have gotten better. But really not bad for tempera paints. Now, if I were to want to seal this, I would probably have to spray seal it. And I don't know about cleaning it. Definitely clean it with talcum powder and not soap and water, because soap and water will take the paint off. I painted my son's room. I painted a mural in his room with this paint because it was cheap and I could get a whole lot of it, and I had to do a whole wall. And it was beautiful. The only problem was when we were ready to sell the house, I had to, I figured, well, I'll just prime over it with some kilts, and I kept adding kilts, and the paint under the kilts kept just running and running and running, and I don't know how many coats of kilts I put on there before I just gave it up and figured, well, the new owners are going to see it eventually. And I really like this. Came out pretty cool. I just wish this part, this is the prettiest part right here on this corner. I wonder how this is going to dry. I'll post some pictures once it's dry so you guys can see. So if I were to varnish this, I definitely would clean it with the baby powder or cornstarch, which is the same thing. And I'm sure you've seen Anna Marie and Rio do this with the talcum powder. I think it came out cool. There's some pretty colors. Alright. And that's what that tempera paint does. We'll see how it dries. Thank you for watching.